The story of Aaron Carter, once a celebrated child star, serves as a stark reminder of the darker side of fame. From his early days as the younger brother of Nick Carter, a member of the Backstreet Boys, to his rise as a pop sensation in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Aaron Carter's life was marked by incredible success and equally incredible struggles. As we reflect on his journey, it becomes apparent that the pressures and pitfalls of being a young celebrity in the public eye can often lead to devastating consequences. Aaron's life was filled with contradictions: fame, fortune, and admiration on one hand, and addiction, mental health struggles, and emotional trauma on the other. As we delve into the details of his rise to stardom, his battles behind closed doors, and his tragic end, we will explore the many layers of his life and legacy. Did the pressures of the entertainment industry take Aaron's life, or was there a much darker force at play? Early stardom, a rise to fame. Aaron Carter was thrust into the spotlight at an incredibly young age. Born in 1987, he was just a child when his older brother, Nick, gained fame as part of the Backstreet Boys. Aaron's charm, his boyish good looks, and his talent as a singer and performer quickly made him a household name. At only 9 years old, Aaron released his self-titled debut album, which sold millions worldwide and catapulted him into superstardom. Songs like I Want Candy and Aaron's Party, Come Get It became anthems for a generation of young fans. As a teenage heartthrob, Aaron found himself at the center of a fan frenzy, touring with major artists like Britney Spears and performing at sold-out arenas. His career seemed unstoppable, and the world watched as he transitioned from child star to teen sensation, eagerly anticipating his next move. However, behind the scenes, the realities of fame were beginning to take their toll. The pressures to maintain his image and his popularity weighed heavily on him, and as his career continued to grow, so too did his struggles with substance abuse and mental health. The hidden battles, addiction and mental health struggles. As Aaron grew older, his star began to fade, and with it, the public's interest in his career waned. By the mid-2000s, Aaron's albums weren't selling as well, and his personal life became a subject of public scrutiny. The young boy who once seemed so full of promise and potential was now facing the harsh realities of growing up in the limelight. His battles with addiction became public knowledge, and it was clear that he was struggling to cope with the pressures of fame. Aaron's substance abuse issues were well documented. He was open about his struggles with drugs, which began when he was just a teenager. In interviews, Aaron revealed that his sister, Leslie, who tragically passed away from a drug overdose, had introduced him to substances at the age of 16. This early exposure to drugs, combined with the immense pressure of being in the public eye, set Aaron on a path of self-destruction. The media often painted Aaron as a troubled celebrity, mocking his breakdowns and erratic behavior rather than offering support. The constant pressure to perform, to stay relevant, and to maintain a certain image eventually wore him down. Aaron himself admitted to the cyclical nature of his addiction, stating that he often turned to substances as a way to escape the overwhelming anxiety and depression that plagued him. Despite multiple stints in rehab and numerous attempts to get clean, Aaron could not break free from the vicious cycle of addiction. The industry's dark secrets, a pattern of exploitation. One of the most disturbing aspects of Aaron Carter's story is his claims about the entertainment industry's exploitation of young stars. Aaron was not shy about speaking out against the forces he believed were manipulating him for profit. He accused his former managers and record labels of using him, manipulating his image, and taking advantage of his youth. In interviews, He spoke bitterly about the way the industry used him as a product and discarded him when his popularity began to wane. Aaron's accusations extended beyond just his management team. He spoke about the darker side of the industry, hinting at secrets he believed needed to be exposed. He claimed that some of the figures in the industry had questionable motives and that they had targeted young artists like him in order to exploit them for personal gain. These allegations hinted at a much larger, more disturbing network of power dynamics within the industry, one that few were willing to talk about. As Aaron's life spiraled further into chaos, he became more outspoken about these hidden truths. He claimed to have knowledge of people in the industry who were involved in much darker activities, and he hinted that his struggles were a result of trying to expose these secrets. His desire to speak out against the injustices he had faced became an obsession, but it also made him a target. As his mental health deteriorated, Aaron's enemies seemed to grow in number, and he hinted at feeling threatened by those who wanted to silence him. The mysterious death, unanswered questions. On November 5, 2022, Aaron Carter's life came to a tragic end. His body was found in the bathtub of his home in Lancaster, California. The official cause of death, according to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, was drowning due to the effects of inhaling difluorothane and taking alprazolam, a medication commonly prescribed for anxiety. The report suggested that Aaron had become incapacitated from the substances he had ingested, which led to him drowning. However, this explanation did little to calm the growing suspicions surrounding Aaron's death. His mother, Jane Carter, was adamant that her son had been the victim of foul play rather than a simple overdose. In a highly unusual move, she decided to release photos of the bathroom where Aaron was found, hoping to spark a new investigation. The images showed the bathtub with greenish water and towels neatly arranged on the floor, raising questions about the validity of the initial investigation. Jane Carter questioned why CPR had allegedly been performed if the towels were in such perfect order, suggesting that the scene had been tampered with. As more details emerged, people began to wonder if Aaron's death was linked to the darker forces he had often alluded to in his interviews. Was he silenced because he knew too much? Was his battle to expose the industry's secrets the cause of his tragic end? While the official cause of death pointed to an overdose, many, including his family and fans, believed that there was much more to the story. Aaron Carter's legacy, a cautionary tale. Aaron Carter's death marked the end of a tragic chapter in the life of a once promising young star. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of fame, the exploitation of young artists, and the psychological toll that stardom can take on an individual. His battles with addiction and mental health were often mocked by the media, but beneath the surface, Aaron was fighting a much deeper war, one against the very industry that had made him a star. As we reflect on Aaron's life and the circumstances surrounding his death, it is impossible not to draw parallels between his story and the stories of other young stars who have faced similar struggles. Aaron Carter's tragic fate highlights the need for greater accountability within the entertainment industry and the importance of offering support to those who are struggling behind the scenes. In the wake of his death, many have asked the question, did Aaron Carter die as a result of his addiction? Or was he silenced by the very industry he had hoped to expose? Until more answers come to light, his story will continue to be a source of speculation and intrigue. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his death, Aaron Carter's legacy will live on as a reminder of the hidden dangers of fame and the importance of looking beyond the surface to understand the complexities of a star's life. The role of industry manipulation in Aaron's struggles. One aspect of Aaron Carter's life that cannot be ignored is the apparent role that industry manipulation played in his struggles. From a young age, Aaron was thrust into the world of show business, where money, fame, and power often overshadowed the well-being of the artists themselves. His early success was undoubtedly a product of the carefully constructed persona he was marketed as, the innocent, charming young boy who could capture the hearts of millions. However, as he grew older and his image began to fade, the industry turned its back on him. His once promising career became a cautionary tale of what happens to child stars when their popularity wanes and the pressures to maintain an image take a toll on their mental health. As Aaron struggled to reclaim his career and face the demons of his past, he became increasingly vocal about the exploitation he felt at the hands of the industry. The enduring mystery and reflection on fame's price. Aaron Carter's story serves as a reminder of the dark forces that can shape the lives of young stars and the tragic consequences of fame's destructive power. His death raises many unanswered questions, and his struggles provide insight into the hidden struggles of countless artists who are silently suffering behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry. As we continue to seek answers about his tragic end, Aaron's legacy should be a wake-up call to the industry about the human cost of stardom. While the cause of his death may never be fully understood, the lessons from Aaron Carter's life and struggles will continue to resonate for years to come. Fame may bring temporary glory, but the true cost of stardom is far greater than many realize. The dark side of fame, the rise of Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber. Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber both became global superstars at incredibly young ages. Their trajectories, while seemingly different, intersected in many ways, especially when it comes to the pressures they faced behind the scenes. Aaron was thrust into the limelight as the younger brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, becoming a teen sensation with his early hits. However, his path was marred by struggles with substance abuse, mental health issues, and the exploitation of his youthful fame. Justin Bieber, similarly, experienced meteoric success after being discovered on YouTube. His rise was defined by hits like Baby, and he became the face of teen pop. However, the toll of constant pressure, intense public scrutiny, and industry expectations soon took its toll, leading him down a dark path of addiction, reckless behavior, and an eventual public breakdown. While Aaron Carter's downfall became evident in his public struggles, Bieber's narrative unfolded over a longer period, showing the intense battle with personal demons while under the microscope of fame. Both young men were shaped and often manipulated by an industry that saw them as products rather than people. Their stories illustrate the pressures faced by young artists who are thrust into stardom before they're ready, forced to navigate a world that can be both intoxicating and destructive. Fame, it seems, does not just bring success. It can often be the very thing that makes or breaks these young stars. The influence of the music industry, a double-edged sword. The music industry has long been criticized for its exploitation of young talent, often pressuring stars to conform to a manufactured image. Both Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber were products of this system. For Aaron, his early success was seen as a direct result of his ability to appeal to a teen demographic. As he grew older, however, the pressure to remain relevant began to wear him down. His image no longer aligned with his reality, and he was pushed into a series of failed musical projects and rehab stints. The industry, rather than helping him, continued to profit from his struggles, further entrenching him in a cycle of addiction and mental health issues. Justin Bieber, despite the public outcry about his behavior in the early 2000s and 10s, also faced similar pressures. His image as the perfect boy next door was meticulously crafted by his managers, record labels, and PR teams. However, this image came with an unspoken rule: the need for constant perfection. As Justin began to rebel against this manufactured identity, his battles with addiction and emotional distress became public knowledge. The industry, once so supportive of his success, seemed uninterested in his well-being, only concerned with maintaining his star status. This dual nature of the music industry, a place that builds up artists but also seeks to destroy them when they don't conform, has had detrimental effects on the mental health of countless young performers, and Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber's lives offer cautionary tales of this toxic dynamic. Substance abuse and mental health struggles. The hidden battle substance abuse was a significant part of both Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber's public and private struggles. Aaron, in particular, spoke openly about how addiction gripped him at a young age, often citing the introduction to drugs through his family and the pressures of growing up in the entertainment industry. His substance abuse problems escalated throughout his career, contributing to his decline as an artist and individual. He entered rehab multiple times, but the cycle of addiction and relapse continued, exacerbated by the public's tendency to sensationalize his struggles rather than offer real support. For Justin Bieber, the substance abuse issues came later, but they were no less destructive. As he began to spiral in the mid-2010s, there were reports of him using lean, marijuana, and other substances as coping mechanisms for the emotional and psychological toll of fame. He, too, went through several public breakdowns, with erratic behavior and poor decision-making becoming part of his public persona. The mental health struggles of both Aaron and Justin were often dismissed or minimized by the public and media, framing them as troubled celebrities rather than young men in need of serious help. These struggles, combined with a culture that glamorized addiction in the music world, created a cycle of abuse that was difficult to escape. Manipulation and control in the music world. The role of powerful figures. One of the most disturbing aspects of both Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber's stories is the possibility of manipulation by powerful figures in the industry. In Aaron's case, he repeatedly alluded to being manipulated by those around him, from record executives to managers who prioritized profit over his well-being. In particular, Aaron's later years were marked by increasing claims that people in the industry had taken advantage of him. He spoke of feeling betrayed by the very people who were supposed to guide his career, and hinted at being aware of industry secrets that could have brought down influential figures. Justin Bieber, too, has been linked to questionable figures in the industry, especially in his early years when Diddy allegedly took him under his wing. There have been rumors and allegations about the nature of their relationship, with some suggesting that Diddy used his influence to control young artists like Justin. These connections raise questions about how the industry manipulates its stars, making them vulnerable to exploitation for the sake of profit and power. The mentorships offered by figures like Diddy may seem benevolent on the surface, but they can also be a form of control, where the young artist is coerced into behaving in ways that serve the interests of their mentors and the industry at large. Death and unanswered questions. The mysterious end of Aaron Carter's life. The tragic death of Aaron Carter remains shrouded in mystery and speculation. Found lifeless in a bathtub in November 2022, Aaron's death initially appeared to be the result of a tragic overdose. However, his family and fans have questioned this conclusion, suggesting that there may have been foul play involved. Aaron's mother, Jane Carter, has been outspoken about her belief that the investigation into her son's death was mishandled. She has even taken the controversial step of revealing photos from the scene to highlight what she perceives as inconsistencies in the official narrative. One of the most suspicious aspects of Aaron's death was the lack of water in his lungs, which casts doubt on the idea that he drowned in the bathtub. Jane Carter's frustration with the police investigation and her belief that her son was silenced have fueled conspiracy theories. These theories suggest that Aaron may have been murdered to prevent him from revealing sensitive information about the entertainment industry. Given his allegations of exploitation and his ties to powerful figures like Diddy, many believe that Aaron was silenced just before he could expose the darker undercurrents of the industry. Whether or not these claims are true remains unanswered, but the mystery surrounding his death adds another layer to the tragic story of his life. Justin Bieber's struggles, the hidden cost of Hollywood stardom. While Aaron Carter's life and death have drawn attention to the dark side of fame, Justin Bieber's journey has also been marked by intense public scrutiny and personal battles. As a young star, Justin was praised for his talent and charm, but as he grew older, his personal struggles began to overshadow his music career. Public breakdowns, legal troubles, and erratic behavior were seen as part of the growing pains of a young man under the spotlight. However, behind these headlines was a more profound story of a young person grappling with depression, loneliness, and addiction. Justin's struggle with substance abuse mirrored that of many other stars in the industry. What set him apart, however, was his ability to confront his demons in the public eye. Through a combination of therapy, religious reflection, and personal growth, Justin slowly began to regain control of his life. His decision to step away from the limelight for a while and focus on his health showed that redemption was possible. However, his story is a reminder that even those who seem to have it all can be just as vulnerable as anyone else. Despite his redemption, Justin's past remains an important part of his journey, one that highlights the darker realities of Hollywood's pressures on young stars, the hidden world of industry parties and exploitation. Another facet of the entertainment industry's darker side is the secretive world of industry parties and events, often filled with excess, drugs, and exploitation. Both Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber were reportedly exposed to this world from a young age, attending parties where drugs and alcohol were freely available. While it is difficult to separate fact from rumor, there have been numerous accounts of young stars being coerced into participating in activities that were harmful to their mental and physical health. For Aaron, the idea of being groomed or manipulated by those in power was something he spoke about frequently in interviews, hinting that there were dark secrets within the industry that only a few knew. Justin Bieber, too, was exposed to these parties and their toxic environment. He was often seen surrounded by older figures in the industry, including Diddy, whose lavish lifestyle and influence were part of the culture that consumed young stars. The pressure to conform and fit into this world of excess can be overwhelming, especially for those who are still developing emotionally and psychologically. These parties, and the behaviors associated with them, often serve as a form of control, where young artists are coerced into a lifestyle that serves the interests of powerful individuals rather than their own well-being. This hidden world of industry parties has become a symbol of the exploitation that many young stars have faced in Hollywood. The impact of public perception, how the media shapes the narrative. The role of the media in shaping public perception cannot be overstated when discussing the lives of Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber. Both stars were subjected to intense scrutiny by the tabloids and mainstream media, which often sensationalized their struggles rather than offering empathy or understanding. Aaron Carter's mental health issues and substance abuse were often framed as a joke or a sign of his being troubled, with little consideration for the underlying factors contributing to his condition. This lack of compassion in the media contributed to his sense of isolation and hopelessness, making it even more difficult for him to find support. In contrast, Justin Bieber's struggles were often framed more sympathetically. While his behavior was still criticized, the media also highlighted his attempts at redemption and recovery. His decision to step back from the public eye in 2017 was met with support from fans, and his openness about his mental health battles allowed him to rebuild his image. However, the difference in how the media treated these two stars speaks to broader societal attitudes about fame, mental health, and addiction. The way the media portrays public figures can either help them find redemption or contribute to their downfall. For Aaron, the media's portrayal of him as a troubled child star helped perpetuate the cycle of exploitation. While for Justin, the media's focus on his journey to recovery has allowed for a more compassionate understanding of his struggles.